right, Pot of Gold, welcome back. Episode 299 for the listeners at home keeping track. 299, Mike. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I can. It's been some
I have
time.
no idea what the number is. LSU back to back 45-point games. Looked a little hairy in the beginning, but a really fun game to watch. And I don't know where to start other than do the whole Twitter thing at Gold Mike, at Pot of Gold, potofgold at gmail.com, at Grant the Intern, big I on the intern. That's all you really need to know about the handle.
Yeah,
Where do
it's
you
where
want
you
to
get your
start, Mike?
schedules. Makes great watch schedules, dude. That's been crushing it.
Grant has been crushing the watch
No
schedule. Good job,
sarcasm.
Grant.
Where do I want to start? Yeah, I mean, like the alignment is happening. The alignment has begun to take form, and it's
What
all. Go ahead.
I was walking in the backyard like 30 minutes ago with the dog, and it kind of hit me. I was like, oh my God, Major Burns feels like a decade ago. Like it doesn't
He'll
feel
be
like that was
what
this
next week?
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
like
care about like it just feels like he played on a completely different LSU team than like this team right now. And we were sitting in the Superdome with I'm sure a lot of listeners of the podcast, and it's like this team is just a different team. Like it's finally clicked. Everyone seems to be bought in, and it's fun to watch. Like we thought it was going to take a little longer.
dude, the grind of watching a rebuild being done the proper way, it's exciting because it's little victories along the way that then turn into big victories, and you can see it all taking shape. Where it's like, dude, if we just straighten out the O line, if we just straighten out the running game, if Jaden just releases the football, if, and like we're starting to do it, and it's all because the kids didn't give up. They didn't say, "Oh, fuck this. This isn't the guy. I'm not showing up to class every day. I'm not doing
Not
XYZ."
not maybe hitting a little bowl in the
After the
locker room
game,
before the
yeah.
game.
For
Yeah,
the game.
we're not A&M just getting paid $1 million to like just, get a free ride and chill. Like Brian Kelly has a vision and he's laying the foundation. And again, this season is not about wins and losses. This season is about laying a foundation with the alignment of becoming a successful elite program, but we are still winning on top of that. That's like the cherry on top. This is the worst we're ever going to be. And that's what people really need to understand is we had 38 scholarship players, whatever the case may be. This thing is patched together by transfers and true freshmen. Wait until he starts stacking these top 5 classes
Wait
and
till Polian gets his hands on them.
yeah, or getting these top 5 classes to stay with the program, to become developed, to understand their development, and that it takes time. This dude's gonna have this thing fucking humming, dude, and it's happening pretty quickly. Now, does that mean we're gonna go out and beat the shit out of Bama and finish undefeated? No, I don't think that. But it's these little victories along the
But
way
give
that
us a week.
yeah, we'll
Give
buy
us a
in.
week.
We
We'll buy
can we
in.
beat Alabama? I mean, fuck, we're 3 minutes into this thing, and I'm already gonna state it. Can we
I,
beat them? Absolutely.
I've
Yes, we can
literally
beat them.
I
Now,
haven't
will
even
we? I
thought
don't know.
about beating Alabama as like an afterthought. And but then I'm sitting here, like I said, just thinking about like LSU and what's coming up in this team. And it's like if Texas A&M can have one play to win the game against Bama, why can't we?
It was 24-20 against Arkansas in the 4th quarter.
Like
Like,
why not us?
yeah,
And look, I think if LSU goes out and does what it's done most of the season and gives up spots a team 10 points or gets down 20-3 or something, I don't know
it's
that you're
over.
coming back
You
and
can't
beating
come back.
Bama. Like that's
See,
when you're gonna figure it out.
that's the good thing about it, though, is, like, you're seeing this team knock off solid victories and very convincing, dominating fashion late in the games, really exerting their will, right? Like really pulling away and keeping the gas down. Can they put it all together and have one full game? We haven't seen it yet. We still have not seen it. So there's still, hey, special teams, you're still fucking around. You've gotten better, but you're still offsides on the opening kickoff. You haven't like
I'll live with
defense.
that.
Defense, excellent adjustments in the second half. Excellent adjustments. Like that's the sign of a very elite defensive coaching staff.
But can we
But
game plan a
let's
little bit
do it
better to
first.
start?
Yeah, let's start
A
off
little bit.
solid. But like it's always fundamentals in the beginning. It's not like just the game plan. It's like we don't tackle in the first quarter. We miss pass breakups. It's just weird. But if you can put all that together, if that's the next
It
step of execution, yeah, you can beat Bam at home at
it's
7 o'clock.
it's
Well,
fascinating though in the second half when the defense does kind of settle in I mean, like it
It is
just
fascinating. It's
it's a
dominating.
completely different team, and then like you just absolutely dominate. I don't know if now would be a good time to mention. Imagine if we had Mason Smith again,
That's right
but
where I was going
I
next.
had
Good
that
deal.
I had that
Perfect.
I had that number
but it's
1
you
on
It
know
my
really
notes
is.
app.
But how about Wingo stepping up and being like, "Oh, you know what? I'll
exactly.
fill in." He's not Mason Smith,
Yes.
but fuck, dude, he'll be starting right next to Mason Smith next season.
Yeah. My notes app says, everyone's favorite segment, "Wish Mason Smith was on this team," slash Wingo is way better than we thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's true. This defense, it goes from looking like really bad to like, are we one of the better defenses in the country? Like it's just game minute by minute, drive by drive. But it seems like once they settle in, they're really good.
Yeah,
Um,
Lamar puts it in the chat just now talking about, like, is this the first time we've had a bye week where I don't know what the actual specifications are in the comment, but, where we're actually be prepared during a bye week where there's probably gonna be yeah, where it might help us. Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely a valid point that we have a coach that has had a plan for bye week since 1992. Like,
yeah,
what is Brian Kelly gonna put this team through during a bye week? Is it just gonna be relax and chill, or is there gonna be like, "Hey, every day you need to check in on this play and chill out. We're not gonna do anything physical, but, like, we're not just gonna let these kids run wild and go buy pot and fucking speed through parking malls," you know?
shout out Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't figure out exactly how to craft the tweet, and I had just did that, the tweet about, like, it feels nice to know that the SEC West is decided in the first week in November again, and I didn't wanna do another, like, it feels nice, but, like, it does feel nice knowing that for the first time, we're not gonna get completely outcoached in the bye. Like, for a decade and a half, we've had to tell ourselves that, like, well, at least we're gonna get healthy, we had a couple injuries, we're gonna get this guy back, and it's like but we always knew it wasn't like we were gonna out-scheme. Maybe we had a tight end reverse in our back pocket that we'd pull at the exact right time one time, but for the most part, you just knew that it was gonna benefit Bama more than it was gonna benefit us, and, like, I'm not saying we have a better coaching staff than Alabama, but it's like I'm less worried about that part. Like, I feel like for once it is a positive. Get our guys rest. Daniels has taken a bunch of hits in the last 2 weeks. Get
Yeah,
him fresh,
yeah.
and
Keep him in an
game
ice
plan.
bath 2 weeks.
Keep Harold Perkins in the fucking film room for
Good
2
win.
weeks,
Yeah.
and let's watch every
You are
throw
Bryce
that
Young.
Bryce Young
You are Bryce
has
Young.
ever
Follow Bryce
thrown.
Young. Yeah.
Let's watch every play Bryce Young. Let's throw a couple high school clips in there. So you've seen everything that this dude has ever done in his life, and let's see what happens. I am
Right.
not confident going in, but there's always a chance.
There's always a chance. You gotta think about okay, so Tennessee beat Alabama, a very documented game, but A&M right down to the wire, Auburn last year, LSU last year. Like, there were so many games where it's just, like, down to the wire with these cats. What happened
Facts.
this season, where who was it? Nick Saban talked about they have anxiety. Like, they felt pressure that it's now they have to win.
Not my
Dude,
Bama.
right, but, like, we have no pressure on this game. You realize, like, they are so like, they have to be not shitting in their pants, but, like, Alabama really feels like, "Okay, fuck, they're getting better. It's at home at LSU." Like, we really have to play our A game here, and they have 2
And
weeks to prepare. So that 2 weeks is gonna be such magnified, and the pressure is gonna be bigger on Alabama to come in. Don't expect them to, unless we do our typical bullshit in the first quarter. I don't think Alabama's going to come out and just exert their will in the first quarter. They're going to be nervous as hell.
I mean, look, I'm absolutely terrified that we do get those quotes like you talked about, and then it's like, oh, we found our groove at LSU. Like, I'm always scared that
Yeah.
that's what's going to happen. But you're right. Like, I've never once, you go to Bama to go on the road and beat the shit out of LSU in this environment that you're going to get on Saturday. And to like have these guys talk about like anxiety and like being nervous, it's very strange. Like, I don't know if it's that the Bama process isn't the process it used to be, because now it's about getting into the transfer portal and getting all these other guys, and they're not in your environment and you've built them. I don't know what it
Dude,
is. And
complacency is the first detriment to success. Like, the second you're comfortable and you're complacent, you're not going to keep getting better. And I really think Alabama has just been it's been so convenient for them to just take the best players in the world with the best coaching staff and just figure it out. They catch a couple breaks each game. And if they catch that break, like, the other team is not going to have a chance to come back. Right now, they're seeing that it takes more. Nick Saban talking about how he woke up freaking out because he realized like these guys lined up in the I formation at the goal line. We had no idea what to do. And he's like, that is just awful that one of my teams under my coaches did not know what to do with someone lining up in the eye. That just shows you he's identified. He gets it. He's like, we fucked up. Like, we're letting these kids do what they want, but you can't do that anymore.
At the same time, it's not, we're talking about LSU 10, or excuse me, we're talking about Alabama, Tennessee a lot. Alabama also did just blank Mississippi State, if I'm not mistaken, last night or, Saturday night. So it's not like they're a terrible team. And for some reason, they can just stop the air raid. I think, I saw the number of like the Mike Leach versus Nick Saban of like total points, and it was a wildly low number for Mike Leach.
Alabama, in my opinion, is still a top 4 team. Like,
right.
Like that, there's no getting around that. I'm just talking about how
winner of this game gets in the playoffs.
If
true or false?
Winner of this game, if we beat
winner
Alabama,
of LSU, Bama.
Well, we've got to win out still.
Well, yeah.
I didn't say that it was true or false.
That just just depends on how the SEC championship goes. Yeah. No, if we beat Alabama and lose in the SEC championship, we're out.
I called Grant Greg. I've been hanging out with Greg too much this weekend. Bad times.
A 2-loss LSU team, if we went out, we're in. Yes.
All right, two things, Grant. I need you to pull up a top 25 at some point that I would like to look at. And then Brian Kelly had this press conference tonight. So if you want to get on Twitter and get some good clips that we can.
What?
No, can you not have simple task? I'll fucking do it. You sit there, my friend. Put the fucking purple light on.
I can. It doesn't happen instantly.
I said at some point.
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes from now.
Yeah, we can talk about it later. I didn't mean to. I don't think we meant to just go into a full
I know,
LSU Bama preview.
Let's talk Ole Miss because we beat the shit out of Lane Train.
It didn't look good to start.
No, typical. Not looking good to start.
I was actually looking back at I got a notification about the YouTube video for the last podcast we did. Speaking of, if you want to watch live or just watch, go to YouTube, Pot of Gold.
Yeah, we should probably tell people we're doing video. I always
they can fucking find it, whatever. Yeah. If you know, you know. That's all I got to say.
Okay, yeah, I get it. I get that.
I mean, and one of the comments was kind of trolling us for one of them was for some nude sites. If you need a good rec, go to that video and check that one out. But one of them was kind of making fun of us for saying like beating a Florida team who is 3 and whatever in the last 20 games in the SEC. It's like they were laughing at it. Like, well, that's not a monumental win. And then now after like sitting where we are now post Ole Miss, it's like, no, I think we were right.
Yes, absolutely, dude. Every victory.
Florida's not good. It's not like it was incredible, but like also we win and got it done, and the guys have bought in, and this team has just like never been more confident.
The alignment is beginning, and that's correct. The confidence, dude. Jaden Daniels' confidence right now, that was the only thing that was missing in the beginning. I would say of the season.
I like trust. It's trust and confidence, right there.
And it's like you can see how happy he is. The fact that it's working, like he is exuding happiness and like, oh my God, like I can just throw a fucking duck up in the air and Jure Jenkins is going to come back to the ball and get it. Like just let it go.
Oh, I don't have to be, it doesn't have to be the most perfect pass. It doesn't have to be the most perfect route. Like I have guys that are going to make plays.
Yeah. And people are going to start respecting that. Now I can fucking scoot. Now I can run like a damn cheetah. The dude's fast as hell. Like
now that we have that. Yeah, now that we have that, Denbrock doesn't look like such a bad play caller, huh?
Right? No, absolutely. Dude, the way he turns the corner and gets extra yardage, like the body control to go that fast to the corner of like a sideline and then cut it up when the people have perfect angles on him. He did it again. It's like the dude just always does that. And he does it for first downs when you think it's stopped. It's like, no, he'll get 4 more yards just bursting through within like a second's time where someone is usually closing the gap there. Very impressive, like downfield running is what I'm saying. Like he sees the holes downfield and he really hits downfield well. Coaches aren't going to tell him get downfield, stop stretching it. No, he's stretching it to get downfield because he can.
He's just like never in a hurry, but that doesn't mean he's going slow. Like it's very weird. He's very calm. I thought it was interesting. He's already taken Jordan Jefferson's spot as like rushing yards in a season. It's like, rushing
touchdowns in a season. Took it from Burrow.
That's crazy. Like And look, hand up on me. I made us. We were about to end the show like 2 weeks ago, and I like made sure that I got this good point in that I thought was going to look great in like 6 months of like, well, I guess we know now that Walker Howard's the starter this year. Like immediately after those words came out of my mouth, he's been a Heisman. Like if this is what he could do anywhere near this, he would be top of the Heisman list.
100%. He will be next season. Like if he maintains this and comes back,
Could he go pro?
he could. I think
Like
he
if
could.
he does this every game, he's just going pro.
He could. I just think his measurables don't stack up to leave.
Dude, I don't think I think he's even discussed. He's like, no, I want to be in the system for multiple seasons.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I think he
Maybe
wants
his
to like win. I
I-
think he wants to win a Heisman or a championship. Like he's so,
Yeah.
And if he does
Determined.
come back, dude, it's like Walker Howard's not going anywhere. Like I really feel like he's a dude that's
No,
bought
I
into
agree.
Brian Kelly and all that. And like, yeah, it might suck for him to like start playing year 3, but dude, that's how you fucking win championships. You get a year 3 Walker Howard stepping in to replace a potential Heisman contender in Jaden Daniels. Like, boys, we're set.
Yeah. And the only thing I would say to Grant's point of his measurables is his measurables isn't changing if he's senior. So it's like it may be better for him to go. If he lights it up to end this year, it's like maybe it's better for him to go and get drafted before more bad film. You never know. I think
We're good either
I think
way, and
Daniels
that's-
is
it's a good problem.
I just
for
wanted
us.
to point
For
out my
him is
dumbass.
like, yeah.
No, but it wasn't dumb. It wasn't a dumb comment. Like, I mean, Walker Howard is the future, and that's very well documented. Brian Kelly talked about it. Like within this season, he's like, we're very happy with how Walker's progressing. We've got a really good feeling about him. And then Jaden Daniels has just not been confident enough to pull the trigger. So of course, naturally, we're going to be like, we'll be okay next season. Now the kid's got confidence. Now he's not just trying to force something to Kayshon Boutte because it's Kayshon Boutte. He's actually distributing the ball to open receivers and moving. He's moving the chains, dude. And when he moves the chains, you're seeing big plays happen. Speaking of moving the chains, dude, Josh Williams moving the fucking chains, dude.
Yeah, I think he deserves a maybe an apology from a lot of people, including people on this podcast, of just trying
I've
to
said
replace
it a
him
million times.
endlessly.
I've apologized a million times.
But it's just like this dude just keeps fucking getting first downs.
He's gotten better and better, and I'm so happy for him. Like saying that this is my thing about Josh Williams. At the beginning of the season, I said Josh Williams is not the caliber of running back at LSU that we're used to, and he's getting the bulk of the carries. We're going to need to recruit better at running back. I think he's a great kid, yada, yada, yada. That still stands true. I stand by that statement, but guess what? He got better. He found his groove, and he is so dependable. Like I said, dude, he's like your little Jacob Hester out there, dude. Like if you need tough yardage, he's going to get exactly what's expected. If you need 5 yards, he's getting 5 yards. He might not get 8. He'll get 5. But like he's dependable. He's the Jeray Jenkins of running backs. Like he will get the job done for you. He might not be the best person in the world, but he'll get the job done. And right now, that is what this season is about. Do your job to the best of your ability every single game. And that's what kids like Josh Williams buy into, and they perform. Like that's
almost 4.5
weird that
yards
he's
a
a junior.
carry, and he had a long of 9 yards. Like that's trucking it. Like that's getting after it. 17 carries, average of 5. Like he's literally averaging 5 yards a carry.
Look at Armani's average, dude. 6.9.
Yeah.
Like that dude.
But yeah, he came at so let's talk about him, huh? I mean,
You don't tell
busted-
us how to go with the show, Grant.
busted his hamstring.
busted hamstring, and he comes out running pretty hard.
Did we ever like get some sort of
apologize.
information on what exactly is the Emory deal, or is that unknown?
Oh, I mean, during the game, they did mention that he said to a teammate, "It's my
Like
knee."
about his knee.
But
Yeah, and then of course Tiger
No.
Droppings Mafia said Achilles.
I feel
Someone-
like this is a break. I think this is just like, hey, let's get some reps in there for Armani and Kane. I don't know. I don't. I think they would have played him a little bit, but I don't think he's that hurt.
Look at
Brian
that
Kelly, I think,
distribution
even
of
commented that,
receiving.
yeah, we're keeping him out because of a knee or something. I feel like I read that.
I don't think it's that serious. Like I think they're kind of rotating guys. They're going to give some dudes some rest. And honestly, like John hasn't done anything that warrants him being over everybody else, regardless.
Yeah,
So,
he's no Harold Perkins.
no, not many people are. And I think Brian Kelly is still kind of shocked that like every week he's like, well, yeah, you might be right. Like we can't keep being like, oh, he doesn't fit this scheme. It's like, dude, motherfucker, he fits every scheme. Figure it out. If you need him to
As
play
long as
D
there's 11
tackle,
on the field, he fits the scheme. And
yeah.
probably if there's less, he fits it better.
Yeah, just
So,
figure it.
yeah.
Even when he's not making the play, he's making the play. Like he is pressuring the quarterback. He's creating rush throws.
Like, let's see him fuck up. We like, you know how they're like, oh, he's a freshman. We don't, in a big game moments, it might fuck up. Like, well, we haven't seen it yet. Let's see him get burnt. Let's see him.
That is my worry. And granted, I will talk shit about Brian. I just completely blanked on Alabama's Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien. Okay, yeah.
I'll completely shit on Bill O'Brien
Napier.
all day, but like it does worry me a tiny bit that like Bama's going to be like game planning for 2 weeks of like, hey, they're gonna like think that Harold Perkins can do this, and we're just gonna attack him with shit he's like never seen, and like that worries me a tiny bit.
Of course. I mean, they're gonna do that, but at the same time, they're definitely gonna go after our most vulnerable spots. That's what they do well. I don't know if Harold Perkins is our most vulnerable, but he's definitely kind of suspect in pass coverage.
Yeah.
So I think if we try to get him in there, what does it say? What about that four tight end goal line touchdown?
There will be a time where Brian Kelly
several
will have recruited all of his tight ends, and like I'm so down for this formation. Right
Mason
now,
Taylor is going to be a beast. Like I know we talk about Mason Taylor getting too many targets right now and everything, but that dude each week has kind of like not that like, and in the beginning it was like, oh, dude, make the fucking catch.
Yeah.
Now, it was like, hey, get the blocks down. Like you're not blocking good enough. Now he's got everything down. He's just got to get crisper at it. You saw that run down the sideline, that catch and run. He had his touchdown.
He's going to be awesome.
He is in the game. Like he's not just like deer in the headlights. Like he is very involved in the pace of the game, the pulse of the game. He's looking at guys stretching out for a first down. He's getting excited, yelling at the refs that that's a first down. Like it's little things like that where you don't really see from true freshmen really being involved in the flow and the rhythm of the game. So by the time this kid's a junior, like that O-line and Mason Taylor at tight end is going to be cream of the crop. Like it'll be the top of college football.
Yep. I still vote no screen to Mason Taylor with Booty as lead blocker. Correct. I vote for that.
I was thinking, like, as I saw, I'm just like, shouldn't this be the other way around? What are we doing?
Like I will, like I agree with everything you just said, but however,
there's those plays, and you're just like, this is what we're talking about. Love Mason Taylor, but this is not his fault. This is not his fault.
Enough.
Dude, Fouché coming up with a very timely interception, a very picturesque pick.
And I don't know if I said this before we started the pod or not, but like obviously Baskerville, shout out to Baskerville for causing that on the front end. But LSU beat the shit out of Dart on Saturday. Just absolutely beat him to death.
And you could see it early, dude. He took a couple hits, and you could tell, like, if you get on this kid, like one more big hit, and this kid's not going to want to get touched.
Yeah,
and
if he was getting up slow.
And if he doesn't want to get touched, dude, now that we're thinking about it, like, I don't know. Maybe it's perfect that you hold Perkins for a little bit because, like, you pound this kid with everybody else, and then Perkins comes in, and it's like, fuck this. I'm not getting touched by this kid. And he just launches the ball. And, like, that, dude, all week, that was, like, what I talked about was you get Dart throwing some of these ducks, like, we're going to get picks because he plays scared, dude. And that's what happens. You got Perkins in the game, and he got him like one time, and that was it. He was like, I'm not getting hit by this fucker.
Oh, you talking about this one right here? Bitch.
All of them, dude. Look at, and then Ojulari in the background, dude. We got some dogs, man. And they're playing. That's what's great about good coaching is that you're playing these kids to their potential later in the season. Like they're playing elite now. Like they're reaching their ceilings now instead of week 2 and then getting beat a couple times and calling it a year. Like we're still playing for something and we have a chance. Like that's what's the funny part about it is like we could have just packed. If this was Ed losing to Florida State opening game, people would have been like, fuck it, like it's over. And the kids would have believed it and it would have been over. Ed would have probably believed it and it would have been over. But
a third straight 4-win season.
Yeah, but like the toxicity was just eliminated. The cancer was eliminated. The Derek Panamskis in the locker room was eliminated. Like these guys are bought in and playing good football going into November with the contenders.
That was a pretty good clip.
I didn't even see this.
October is for the pretenders, and November is for the contenders.
Yeah, they got hyped for that. That was tight. That was tight. They're believing. They're believing. And I love how Brian Kelly is going into this being like, we're gonna have a shot to beat Alabama. You know, like this team is hitting their stride right now. Like he's done nothing. I don't know. I didn't listen to his press conference today, but he's just said nothing about like, yeah, well, we've got Bama coming up and let's be realistic. Like, because Brian Kelly's a pretty realistic guy.
Dude,
like he's
about
very
him talking
honest
about the Tennessee game. He's like, it wasn't that far
I
out
love
there.
that. I love that. How he was
That's
like,
what I was trying to
Yeah.
say on the pod is that it's not like Tennessee came in and fucking whooped us. We missed a few plays. We gifted them points, and
did
then
our
they just
usual
cruise
gifting.
controlled.
yeah, he's like, you know, we missed an extra point against Florida State, and we play as bad as we possibly could against Tennessee with some awful breaks. Like, this is a good football team.
He's kind of like saying, like, you know, I knew we would beat the shit out of Ole Miss. I knew we would
Yeah.
beat Florida. Like,
I can't imagine this is like this has to be the best case scenario that Brian Kelly thought when him and Woodward were on that plane for this first year. Like, I think he thought it was going to be rough.
Yes, I agree. Like, it's
And
going to be
we thought
rough.
it was going to be rough. Fuck, after Florida State,
Yeah.
no one wanted to
believe.
No
he was
one
the
wanted to
laughing
admit-
stock.
Nobody
Laughing
wanted
stock.
to admit they had an LSU 6.5 win ticket. Not anyone on earth. Now you see on Twitter a bunch of screenshots and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it. Like, oh, remember what happened? Remember what happened around Labor Day or Memorial Day, whatever the fuck day it was.
I was a little worried. I mean, I felt like 7 wins, he could probably pull it. The wins again, and I keep going back to the wins and losses is really not was not my concern for year one. It was all about getting these kids to play for something and be bought into his system. Because if they buy into the system, the program, the future of this program, like the wins are going to come falling in. Like, we're supposed to dominate Ole Miss. You're supposed to go on the road and be able to compete with Alabama.
That's why I hate the field
Florida,
rush.
I mean. The field rush is pathetic.
Like, you can't.
And if you're going to do it, do it big. Don't have like 7 of y'all being like,
disgusting.
It was bad. It was bad. But here's the flip side of that. The players seemed to like enjoy it. They like there was a sense of like, you know, this is a fun big win. Like, we can feel the tide turning in our direction. Let's celebrate this. But guys, it's Ole Miss, and we did it against Ole Miss in 14. And we were told, like, don't ever do that again.
Yeah, and if LSU kicks a game win, if you have a Demetrius Byrd touchdown, like if you win the game at the end, I'm all for rushing a field. I don't even really care if it's like a big game. Like, it's just the excitement of it.
Wait for it to do it against Bama in 2 weeks.
Right.
Like if you're going to do it, like that would have been like excused because we haven't beat Bama at home in how long?
Well, they're gonna. The field will be rushed if they beat Bama.
I know, but that's the problem. Like, just save that money.
And then when Arkansas
if we beat Bama, like, I'll fly in to rush the field. Like, that's how many people need to be on that field.
I'm gonna be like that Tennessee lady that was taking full like square feet of sod with her,
just digging it up.
Yeah. Like, I'm not taking a little bit of grass. I'm scooping. We're scooping.
Yeah, I don't like the rushing of the field. I get that some of these kids probably don't understand the history of football and they're just excited for the moment. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but learn from it and stop doing that shit. But it was also like, how many fields did we see rushed this past weekend and the past 2 weekends? It's just
we saw Clemson rush the field against Syracuse, but
that's what it was.
Somebody said that Clemson does that all the time. And I'm not sure, but I don't know who said that. So someone tweeted like,
against
I do feel like I've seen a ton of Dabo videos where it's just chaos behind him, and he's like,
I think that's just him running onto the field.
Yeah,
that's just pregame, dude. he's going nuts at pregame. He does.
There's gonna be a time
blow up his victories. Like, when he wins, gonna be a time. It's like historic to them.
There will be a time where we're gonna get a good like Dabo ACL tear or something in that run.
Bro,
we may have to hold out.
Tear. If he busts it going down that incline,
we're gonna be a Panamsky.
We're talking broken neck. Like the dude might not be able to walk again.
It's the Panamsky gif, but just
like what year does he stop doing that? Like,
I've thought about that every time I see it. Like, I wonder how many more times he's got this, because I couldn't do that shit right now.
No.
Like,
No.
there is no way if you just had me out there fucking running down that hill, like I would be so conscientious about
And
where my feet
here's the thing:
go.
you're not just running out like you're on the trace. You know, like you're running out in front of 100,000 people.
And he gets a good like 50 yards in too. Like he doesn't just stop when he gets down the hill. He still goes.
Yeah.
So good for him though.
Speaking of hitting the deck, quick aside. I watched two old ladies hit the deck on the dance floor at the wedding this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Incredible.
I
Mother of the
bet that was
bride
great.
hit the deck. She sat in a chair like in the middle of the dance floor
Dude,
for
you
like
can't
30
pay for
minutes
that type of
after.
entertainment, dude. That's solid.
Greg and I laughed for about an hour. Like it was the best.
Yeah. I
This
love a good
dude was
fall.
so we thought he was the cameraman, but apparently family or something. A professional dancer, like salsa dancing, quick feet, like aggressively dancing, throws the oldest lady in the building on the ground. And I swear to you, 10 seconds later, he's dancing with someone else. Like he shooed the grandma to the table and instantly was back. And it was like one of the funniest things I've ever
He was
seen.
disgusted. He's like,
Yeah, like
pick yourself up.
and he was like, "Oh, yeah," and then just back at like this dude's literally danced his entire life. Like this was no joke. It was hilarious.
That's awesome. Where was this again? Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado Springs. It was really
Badass.
cool.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Great
high.
town.
All right, back to Ole Miss. I thought Lane was gonna absolutely do us dirty for a minute.
Yeah, I started
he had
freaking
that
out because I
shitty
talked a
grin.
lot of shit. I'll be honest. I talked hard about being confident on like a 20-point victory. And then the first couple scores, I was just like, here we go. Like my Twitter's about to get executed. Uh, but it turns out we ended up doing pretty well. But yeah, in the beginning there, that was a little scary. But I felt on like it was a strange, comfortable feeling
I
of just
agree.
like this is kind of where we shine. Like this is what we do. We have to dig ourselves a hole for us to like believe that we can pull ourselves out of it. But like, I don't know if that's a good thing. Like in the long term, it like you could probably make a case for that being a good thing because the minute that we come out and actually put it together in the first quarter, like
The
you're
best
looking at
team in
like
the country.
blowout victories because they
Yeah.
don't stop. Like we don't stop putting up points and we don't stop shutting people down. Like even when we're in a comfortable lead, like our defense literally makes sure that there is no situation where they can get back in the game.
Yeah, definitely had a few of the our usual DM, fire Polian guys that just they come in super hot, a little toasted on a little Saturday afternoon.
Somebody pointed out that there's a new handler next to Polian. Is that what you're about to say?
No.
My brother-in-law was like, "Did you notice during the game there's this new bald guy that's been standing next to Polian and Brian Kelly, and like he's kind of like
That
I
must
don't
be
know.
the guy. Is that
Well, I don't know if
happened?
he's the guy, but he's like the new like I don't know. Like let's
Assistant
keep
to the
track of
guy.
the assistant to the guy. I don't know. I think there's something happening there. We need to pay closer attention.
What were these Polianites saying though? They were just like, "You fucking idiots," saying that we would kill Ole Miss.
It was pretty much just like, doom and gloom, like this
Polianites.
game's over. And I'm just like, we're gonna get back in this game. Like there was no doubt that LSU was gonna be able to score on Ole Miss's defense. Like I just didn't know if we were gonna it seemed like Lane was gonna score every time he touched the ball there for a minute. So I was like, well, we may run out of time. And then like thinking about like that being my thought process now when you win by 25 is pretty funny. I was like, man, we might run out of time, but like we're gonna get back in this game. And then it was just like, boom, hey, we're back. It's over.
Judkins is solid, dude. Like that
He's
little
very
running back
good.
is fucking good. Dart's a good runner. He's just kind of a pussy, but
Yeah, I thought I thought our defense played really well. Like I'm still a little skeptical. I feel like for the last 2 weeks I've said you're not as good, you're not as good as people think when you win and whatever. When you
yeah.
lose, you're not as bad. But it's like I don't know. I'm still a little skeptical about Ole Miss's defense. Like LSU should have been able to go in and put points on it. But like I'm very impressed with LSU getting punched in the mouth with 2 touchdowns and then not giving up another one.
Well, doing what you're supposed to do is signs of a team that is progressing and playing to their abilities. Have we seen the best that this team can play? No. Like we have not seen the best that this team can play. And that's what's exciting is like they are doing what they're supposed to do. And that's what we've been asking of LSU aside from 2019 for a decade. Like just do what you're supposed to do. You've got the dudes, you've got talent, Get these kids to perform, not just strip the ball, not just try to make crazy plays. Just do your fucking job. And Brian Kelly's getting these kids to do that. Like week 7, like that's like he's way ahead of schedule. Like
No,
some people are like,
it's
oh, this should have been happening all seasons. Like, no, dude, this doesn't happen like this. Like, this is quick.
It's super impressive. I mean, obviously we're gonna ride for Brian Kelly, but it's like Brian Kelly's one done everything he's told us he's gonna do. Two, it's like this team had opportunities to quit. There's guys on this team
Yep.
that are gonna be playing, and Booty. I feel like
Yep.
I've probably been as hard on Booty as just about anybody in the LSU world, and it's like it seems like that dude's all in.
He's all in and he's found his role. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
okay. I'm not getting every fucking throw or making every touchdown. Like, I'll be the
not
little
something
even-
clicked in his head. It seems.
I'm not even positive he was in the fucking game. It was right after he rolled his ankle and he's in the end zone celebrating when Daniels walks in for the score. It's like
he's all about it. He's all about it because he
this
has to.
team. Yeah, the team just had the opportunity to quit. We could have eased, and look, maybe it can still happen. Arkansas is not the worst team in the world. A&M somehow may pull a miracle. That's going to be their Super Bowl. But like, this team could have easily gotten their 6 wins and had dudes go to the NFL and like, oh, well, maybe Walker Howard. And it's like they're all of a sudden, the reason I wanted the top 25 up is because I wanted to look at like where would LSU be if that extra point wasn't blocked. If the LSU's a 1-loss team to Tennessee, just like Alabama, with the top 10 win, I mean, you got to be
probably like 8.
Oregon,
we
Oklahoma
would be in
State
the top
area.
10.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't put USC above LSU at that point.
No. But I mean, if you look at the FPI, you look at the Football Power Index or whatever, like their rankings, I think we're like 7 or 8 based on those rankings.
Yeah, we're in the top 10 on that.
And like everybody else is kind of pretty consistent with the AP, except like, LSU's randomly in there. It's like, well, when you look at the points and the power, like the schedule that we've had and how close some stuff was, like a couple things shake out a little differently. Like this is a top 10 team, and that's insane to think about after just the mistakes that this team has made all season. Really shooting ourselves in the foot over and over, and we still somehow are limping our way through and playing well. That's
still somehow
also
ranked below Ole Miss. But anyway,
yeah, whatever.
Shout out, big in the red zone, dude.
Well,
6 for 6 in the red zone.
It's huge. I was gonna say big shout out to the strength and conditioning team because we literally might be the best conditioned team in the country.
And again, it's conditioning, but it's also the mindset. Like these kids mentally are like, this job's not done. We haven't lost this game yet, and we haven't won this game yet. We need to keep performing. So it's a big mixture. And I agree with you though. Like there's no cramping. Like I thought for sure as Ole Miss was like doing their fucking speed tempo that we were going to see at least 2 of our big hosses on the ground, like chilling, trying to catch a break. Never. Like we don't do that shit. We don't play sloppy ball, dude. Like we're like, no, if you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us straight up. Like we're not going to lay on the ground and pretend we're hurt.
It's the most athletic our offensive and defensive line has ever looked, I think.
Dude, the line of scrimmage is won by LSU like most of these games.
First quarter, they'll
give up their plays. They're gonna miss their assignments and they're gonna get beat. But like in general, they've done a great job, and Daniels has trusted them, and Daniels stayed in the pocket in the Ole Miss game better than he has all season. Like he just sat there sometimes.
If we had an hour to just talk about how good Will Campbell is, like we wouldn't have enough time because like for this kid, and Emory's amazing. Emory Jones is great at right tackle in his own way, but Will Campbell being able to do what he does at this age, this is not normal at all.
It's unreal.
This is something that is not like these are beasts he's going against. Like he's not going against Florida's like worst players. He's going against the best defender on every one of these teams. Every play.
Barring his health, he's a top 5 pick, maybe number 1 overall.
Maybe he's the first tackle taken. He's about to be an All-American. I mean that's like what he just and he looks. It looks effortless. Like when he hops back in that fucking squat stance, it's like, good luck, buddy. You're not getting.
He really doesn't, and he doesn't look like. I mean, he looks intimidating. But like he's not that like big yet. Like he's not like Andrew Whitworth,
17.
like fucking huge yet. I know.
He's almost
Just
still got
wait
a little
until
baby
he
fat on him, even though he
Yeah.
looks super athletic.
Yeah,
Like, he
wait until he
still looks
shaves that head and grows a beard in 10 years. We're gonna
That's
be
what
wait
I'm
like,
till
saying, and he's
Moffitt
just
wait till
mean
Moffitt gets his hands
streaking.
on him.
Wait
did you see
till
him running off the field? They have like a little video of like everybody trying to like squeeze through the fans, and he was just like, "Get the fuck off of me!" Like he it was like everybody was having a blast, and Campbell's just like, "I'm not having any of this, dude. Get off." He's a dude. He's a man.
It is weird to think of, like, we kinda harped on, like, you have to crush it recruiting offensive line, and it's like, we may not have to for a little bit. Like, we possibly have 2 first-round picks that just,
And
like,
then you got
they
Hurd.
can't even leave for 3 years.
Then you got Hurd, whose like comparison is DJ Fluker. Like they say this is like the next big ass fucking dude. Like where do you put him? Like, but
I know
that's
he's gotta go to
that's
tackle.
like what we talked about the day we found out Brian Kelly. The day in the studio we found out Brian Kelly was gonna be our coach. We all in unison
Our
understood
offensive line problems are gonna
O-line,
be gone soon.
O-line and tight ends are
Tight
about to
end.
be the best in the country in
Yeah.
like a year or two, and you're seeing it happen immediately. Like it's there's such an emphasis on quality line play, and then you flip onto the other side of the football. Without Mason Smith, you got guys like 99, you got guys like Wingo, like just playing up to their potential right now. Guys like Savion Jones, who, you know, honestly, I did not expect to come in and actually produce that much. You can't get Quincy Wiggins on the field because Savion all of a sudden decided to say hello. Like kids are playing up to their potential on the line of scrimmage right now. It's really great to see.
It seems like LSU hit on, like, at a ridiculous rate in their first recruiting class under Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
There's
and it's only dude, this class coming up, like once LSU becomes news, we
Yeah.
are so trendy. Like for whatever reason, the minute like the media allows us to have some fucking air time, people love it. People from all over jump in on it, but like they really try to keep us down.
Yeah.
And lately, like this past week, everyone all of a sudden now is on board. Everyone
Yeah.
loves it. They're all on board.
A
Even
few
fine.
people have taken a step back and they're like, week 1, I don't know what that was. No, don't know
Yeah.
what that was about, but this is a different team.
Well, maybe we were a little hard on Brian Kelly. It's like, dude, like you think?
Maybe we haven't said enough
yeah?
bad shit about Freeman and Jimbo lately, or
Like
Cristobal,
there was a
or
there was a
name your
conscious
guy.
effort to make sure Brian Kelly was uncomfortable with his decision to go to LSU, and it just flipped this past week. It never flipped with us. Like we were always on board, but there was a large segment of the media, even some of the local media, were like, now it flipped. And they're
Oh, dude,
all
everyone tried to bury us when it was in this Ole Miss game. When
yeah.
it was 17-3, on Reddit, college football,
Who they were
everyone just
favored in this game.
burying them, and it's like, and that's gonna happen. Like LSU, let's say we get beat by Alabama, then it's gonna come back and be like, "Hey, yeah, howdy, y'all." It's like it's gonna be some stupid shit like that. We're just gonna have to eat it and know, like, it's almost how Alabama fans have to be, knowing that everyone hates you. It's like we're fine, we're in our bubble. Like I don't need anyone else except
I'm
my
good.
boys right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, we're
And
good.
it's like that's how we're gonna have to live. And hopefully we can have half the success as Alabama's had. But
4 games left, guys.
that's what I was gonna say. Like I want to
games.
say there's a lot of football left, but there's really not. And I understand that Josh Heupel is 100% gonna get, and he deserves SEC Coach of the Year. But like Brian Kelly kind of deserves Coach of the Year.
I mean, of all seasons for Heupel to just like have this juggernaut of a team, like it's very rare. And like you said, because of that, he does deserve it. He has turned that program around with a very good team, and he's pieced it together with players that other teams didn't want. I mean, Hendon Hooker was a cast off. So yeah, dude, Josh Heupel's great, but any other season, what Brian Kelly has done with LSU is a testament to his ability to follow his system, his alignment, his path, everything that Scott Woodward was like, nope, I'm paying this dude this amount of money because eventually he will get LSU where they deserve to be and where they should be with the resources that we have. Enough is enough with the clown shows at head coach. We're going to put the time and the investment into a proper head coach that knows how to do this. It's not going to happen overnight. You're going to have to go through some growing pains. But Brian Kelly knows how to do it. And guess what? It's not been done overnight, but it's exciting to see the little victories along the way. It's exciting to see LSU beat number 7 Ole Miss. Like, if this was back in 2008, 9, 10, whatever, like during some of like those prime years, beating number 7 Ole Miss is like, well, I fucking hope so. But like right now, we're going through a moment in time where you got to cherish the rise, and Brian Kelly is really making it fun to hold on to the rise and to see, oh, Brian Thomas is a dog, like he's catching big passes, or Josh Williams was a walk-on who turned scholarship, who's now our most sturdy running back. Like that climb, where in 2 years from now, when you're loaded with 5 stars across the board, you're going to look back at year 1 and be like, dude, remember when we were like winning games with Jaden Daniels and Josh Williams and like Jeray Jenkins, and now we're like flooded with
Converse.
Cole Taylor
Ty
was still
Wingo.
a tight end.
Yeah, Cole Taylor was a true freshman. We're bitching
What
about
was
him
his
getting
name?
targeted.
Greg. I think he was like the second. Greg,
Fuka.
what was his name?
Greg Brooks and Joe Fucka. Yeah.
Speaking of names, there's one guy we haven't mentioned that had a lot. I think he contributed a lot and he played a lot. Was Demario Tolan.
Tolan came in and he stuffed some
I noticed
holes.
he was in there.
He was in there. This is the first game I've seen him with so many snaps, and I think it was kind of one of those things. It's like, look, Greg Penn, you're only good so like these spread teams, you're not the guy.
Not
like,
quick enough.
You're not quick enough, and so we started going with the Baskerville, Tolan, and Perkins mix, and it was like these are some animals out here.
So I think Penn's helmet came off, and Tolan had to come in, and they just kept him in. And like, but his first drive that he went in, the first play, like he literally saw the play, he saw the guard pull, and he filled the gap, headstrong. There was no hesitation, and he blew it up. And I remember I forgot his number. Is he like 20? I don't know, but whatever, 21 maybe or something. Whatever number he was, I was just like, who the fuck? And I saw it was Tolan, and yeah, I mean he's filling gaps, playing well. But that's Matt House is obviously a dog. Like when we talk about coaching defense and coaching linebackers, we're about to scoop up some of these players, dude. I guarantee you we get a couple of these A&M
32. He's number 32.
32.
So yeah, true freshman from Dr. Phillips in Orlando, Florida, like legit high school prospect.
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, everyone loves it. Lene Kakua, the behind the curtain. Look, so Grant having the screen up here showing the standings in the East and West reminded me that I wanted to go back and look up the SEC Media Days predictions for the rankings. So let's just go through those real quick. Alabama number 1 in the West, obviously. Number 2, Texas A&M. What are they at right now, Grant? What are they at? Can you tell me?
They have as many wins as Vandy and Missouri.
What are they in conference, though? Because that's all that really matters.
No. 1 and 3. They're 1 and 3.
Oh, okay. 1 and 3. Interesting. Arkansas, number 3 with one. Arkansas with 1 first place vote in the West. Also, Grant, can you tell me what Arkansas's SEC record is?
Looks like they're 1 and 3 in the SEC.
Interesting. Now we get to Ole Miss. Ole Miss number 4. I think that's fair. Ole Miss 3-1 in the SEC. They're sitting 3rd. That's okay. I think that's right. And then LSU number 5. I really thought they had LSU number 6. That's why I went and looked it up. But we were 5 with Mississippi State and Auburn behind us.
And we're number 1 right now.
What about the East? What's the East have?
So technically, we've only beaten the teams that we were predicted to be better than, except for Ole Miss.
Dude, it's gonna be a tight one against Bama. We're gonna beat Arkansas, and then I think we're going to make a statement against A&M. Because I think LSU, like what Brian Kelly is selling these kids is to finish and like keep playing for fucking nothing, basically. And A&M, they're going to be in the same boat, but there's no way they're going to be preaching that. Like there's no way those kids are going to figure that shit out at the last.
Dude, our guys are going to be
they're
so
smoking
amped.
weed before games right now.
After, let's just make that clear.
Glenn said before.
Oh, I thought it was after.
Glenn said it was before the game.
Everything I read said it's before the game.
You're the only person I've seen say after.
I read after, and it wasn't from Glenn, but I know Glenn was the one that kind of like regurgitated
the article that I sent. Well, I didn't send you the article. I sent you the screenshot. But
that's
all
we don't read articles.
I read it on On3's A&M site, but yeah, whatever. Regardless,
Either way, it's a bad look.
Can't be like,
No,
listen, I'm
LSU
all about doing whatever you want to do, but like if I'm a
And
fucking
like,
18
a
year
little
old
bit of weed never
football
hurt
player,
anybody,
no.
right?
But if I'm an 18-year
No,
old
never.
quarterback that's like trying to get my fucking life straight and shit, like the mindset of like, yeah, I'm just gonna like cool this one out and just fucking hit a bird, like that's kind of wild. Like that's something you do when you're like the delinquent kid on the junior high team.
You're the
Not
walk-on, baby.
Yeah, not like an SEC defensive back getting paid millions of dollars. It's wild.
No, LSU is going to be amped to like have an opportunity to play in the Fiesta Bowl, maybe. I don't know,
Yeah.
whatever bowl
wait.
they're going to be going to.
Or
And
in
A&M,
what they're looking at right now.
A&M may not even be like bowl eligible.
Dude, so
Yeah, I don't think if we beat them, I don't think they're bowl eligible.
can we
Because
wait? Let's revisit the fact A&M lost for the first time in the history of their program to South Carolina.
Yeah, I had that one.
What?
Yeah,
You had that in the pick'em? You changed it, or you had that?
I had it.
The Beamer Ball, baby.
You
Yeah.
mother-
I did. I
What
had
a
that.
game,
Because
too.
the only 2 games that I've lost are the fuckers that I've switched. Like,
Oh wow!
sorry, I take that. I've lost others, but like the 2 games I
The
switched,
2 days
I've
switch, yeah.
lost. And then so I looked at this week and I was like,
Mike has predicted the SEC perfectly outside of 2 games.
no, like 8. But there was a switch pick. I was like, dude, South Carolina A&M, that would be the only one I'd flip. But I was like, you know what? The only 2 I've ever flipped, I fucking lost, and it was both like Kentucky. So I let it ride.
And it's like Texas A&M's offense sucks. It's
And
not
now
even
they're
like their
playing like
defense is that
Wegman
bad.
or Wedgman or the freshman. Like, dude, we're gonna rattle that kid to the bone.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about that game.
Did you see them hanging out for their ticket pickup, we call it, last night? And the storm
No.
rolls through and it fucking blows tents across the
At
parking lot.
A&M?
Yeah. There's like
Great.
hundreds of students waiting out, camping out, and that storm that rolled through just literally annihilates them.
But I mean, guys, who would have everyone knew this was happening? Like, who thought that they were going to be successful because they bought like 10, 17-year-old kids for multi-million dollar contracts?
A lot of people thought that it was going to work out. Dude, if you
no
your
way.
fucking boy Desmond had him in the playoff, didn't he?
But I love how Lane like took a shot
Pitt,
about it
and
after the game. He loses to LSU and he still is just like, yeah, like, you know, we've got a team that, you know, really has a great roster. That's about all they have going for them, is they have a very talented roster that they just put together. And it's just like everyone realizes this is a fucking joke. Like, you can't, like, that's why the NFL is so hard to coach, because like these are fucking egotistical people that make more than you, and you're gonna do that now to these young kids. Like, I get NIL and I'm all for it, but you start doing these collectives and bringing in classes of 5 stars, you better have your shit together when it comes to the alignment and all that. And if you don't, and you're just like, hey, go play, they ain't gonna go play, dude. Like, if you gave me a
They should hire Ed as recruiting coordinator.
That would be a dream come true for him. Oh, I have an unlimited oil money budget that I can just go scoop people up and let them run wild on your bare ass campus.
Might legit be the best job in the world for him.
Bare ass.
Like, there's no one more qualified.
No, their campus just looks like a bare ass. It's just like desert and then concrete. It's just nothing. Like, dude, those kids hate it. There's no way they got to that school out in the middle of College Station. We're just like, yep, this is it.
I love their message board saying like, this was Woodward's plan all along.
I love it. I love it. I was waiting for people to think that shit.
Oh, there is a tiny bit of me that is scared that Woodward is kind of like a clown and just gives out money and then like the Jimbo deal. Like, could we in like 4 years be complaining? But like, I don't know. I feel like
he got his little extension on Friday.
So this is with an A&M fan, a little back and forth banter. I just messaged one thing. I said, "Do y'all fire Jimbo?" ? Hell no. He's got like $97 million payout. If he brings a new offensive coordinator and can put his ego aside, then we can make it work. Sorry, $85 million. Also, Ole Miss sucks, by the way. They haven't played anyone. Even if we lose all our young players, maybe we can entice all the transfers we have in the NIL money. By the way, LSU never does any of that. good luck with gay ass Brian Kelly. Like, just set this dude off. I was like, nice. I was just checking the vibe of the fan base. This tells me everything.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to listen to that on the pod or whenever do the posting because my headphones went out for a solid 30 seconds of that story. But I was watching Grant giggle the whole time, so I'm sure
it was
I'll
really
listen.
good. It was really good.
Well,
That's
never
exactly what I would expect. I don't know who that was. I can only, I guess, guess.
Not
But
Uncle Kyle.
okay, I'm glad it's not him.
No.
But I can only
Kyle's an
imagine.
Astros like front row season ticket holder. He could
Nice.
care less.
He doesn't give a
about
shit. Yeah, he's
Aggies
living
right
on the
now.
cloud 9 right now.
Well, of course.
I can
yeah,
only
I don't
just
care when they're 3
I
and
can
4
envision.
Yeah.
I can envision that A&M fan, whoever that is, saying that and like just being that's who they are.
Yeah,
That's
It's
who they
gay
are.
ass Brian Kelly's not going to do that. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
but that's it. They're just in their cult. They're in their feelings. They don't know what to
But they
do. They don't know
still
what to think
think they're
because
gonna
they know the
figure it out.
buyout's too high. They're
like
trapped.
what's funny about A&M is like they really think like all they got to do is get rid of Jimbo, and like they think that someone else is going to roll into town and just fucking keep it going. That's not happening. I don't.
I mean,
think
if
that's
I were
happening.
them, I would definitely convince myself that like these dudes are awesome. They just need someone with some structure to come in, and like we'll pay Dabo whatever the hell he wants. You know, like if you're Texas A&M fan, you're talking yourself into a playoff in 2022 already.
Right, but like Jimbo Fisher is like the equivalent of like the fucking CDC with COVID. It's like, dude, 5 more years, flatten the curve. Like, just
Just put another booster. Just
there.
take one more booster shot, and you're
Maybe a
good.
little bit more time. You see the potential here. Like, we're close. We're
Guys,
close.
we're so close to really finishing this. If you just put your mask on and really save a life,
We're almost there, boys.
we'll all get through together. One heartbeat.
Oh fuck, the flu.
Fuck.
We forgot there's this other thing. Yeah.
I love
don't know.
shitting on them. Anyway, you want to talk about some of the games over the weekend?
I didn't get to watch it.
I don't want to direct anything, but
I forgot.
I mean, I watched a little bit of Oregon whooping that ass.
there
This
were
was
some good
the
games.
all-time Bo Nix game.
Texas.
Yeah,
shit
Bo Nix
bad.
became Bo Nix again.
Yep.
But we've seen that song and dance happen. He'll disappear soon.
Tulane, top 25 team.
Tulane's still moving along well, beating
Tulane
Memphis.
covering 7-1 against the spread.
Dude, I bet TCU minus 3.5, and I thought they were going to blow that the whole time. I'm pretty sure it was a late game. I forgot. I went to sleep, and I woke up with a nice surprise. So it was nice.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was a night game. But, yeah, I didn't really watch a ton of the football. So
Texas
Oregon-
losing to Oklahoma State.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Yeah,
I had Texas in that game.
not back.
Not back.
Nope.
Go. Syracuse comes in. Syracuse is actually a decent squad.
Yeah, Syracuse
They
had a
are.
chance to win
They
the
kind
game.
of, yeah, they kind of blew that.
Like they're
Yeah,
not
Clemson
great,
benched the
but
quarterback.
they're in
Clemson
ACC.
benched Ukulele.
Yeah, dude, because they got Klubnik. Like that kid's sick. That's like how convenient it is for Clemson. Just be like, you know what? Let's throw Walker Howard in there. Like they have.
They
like,
replaced number 1 quarterback Hunter Johnson with Trevor Lawrence, and then Uiagalelei was like number 1 guy right after that, and they're like,
They always but that's so Clemson. It's like they have all these number 1s, but like they have like the bust number 1s and the good number 1s.
And the bust.
I'm not saying TJ's a bust, but like
literally. Well, no, we were talking about Deshaun Watson when they made the bust comment.
Yeah, but I mean, you got Klubnik and DJ. It's like, is DJ the bust and Klubnik's the guy? I got the.
I really, of all things for Grant not to react to.
He's deep into something right
What?
now.
All right. Did we get any Brian Kelly? Any good Brian
I looked
Kelly?
it up. I didn't see anything.
He's got nothing.
Okay, give me a second, guys.
There are some games. Let's see.
Yeah, next week, kind of a down week, or this week, I guess. This weekend, kind of a down weekend.
But the next week,
kind of regroup.
This is
Ohio State, Penn State. Ohio State minus 15.5, not big enough.
Give me that.
Yeah. TCU, West Virginia. Notre Dame, Syracuse. Florida, Georgia. Line is 22.5. Been listening to country lately, getting prepared for Nashville. You ever heard of Hardy?
Dude. Yeah, Greg Hardy.
Wait in the truck. You ever heard of Wait in the Truck?
No.
It's about
So-
like he kills somebody, like he sees a girl that's been beaten up on the side of the road, and he just tells her like, "Where is he?" Like just this random girl he drives up on, and he goes to this dude's trailer house and kills him, and he tells the girl to
Wow.
wait in the truck. It's a big song right now. Listen to it like 5 times on the way home. Wait in the truck. Oregon, Cal.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, it's Notre Dame. Syracuse is kind of interesting that it's only -3, and it's in Syracuse.
Dude, Ole Miss A&M. I kind of really like Ole Miss -2.5.
Oh
I
yeah.
agree.
Oh yeah.
Brian Kelly says he was surprised fans rushed the field following the Ole Miss win. Whatever. Brian Kelly says coaching staff will be on the road recruiting. The goal is to touch base with all the 2023 commits and top 2024 commits as well.
Get him in.
Brian Kelly says the team was able to scrimmage the young guys at practice. Practice Wednesday, Thursday weights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday is recovery. It's reset and reset mentally and physically.
Whatever that
So,
means,
yeah.
I'm down. Whatever the plan is. Hopefully Saban's just like running the hell out of his guys. Like, there's a new sheriff in town, you pussies.
I coached there before you were born.
Yeah. How about Feinbaum finally coming out and being like, if Nick would have stayed at LSU, they would have had probably about 10 national championships by now. And like he did a whole segment on that. It's like, welcome to like 10 years ago.
But like, I don't even know that it would be like fun anymore if that's what happened. If
Dude.
like we just dominated the 20 years of like 2003 to 2023, like I don't know. I feel like I'd just be like,
don't dox me. Don't dox my name on here, but I have a fake Bama account on Twitter. And it's not fun, dude. Like these people literally melt if like they trip the wrong way or something, or like they're wanting to fire everybody. There's no joy. Like if you don't have the national championship team, like there is no joy. I don't know if that would be fun, because like college football is always something to look forward to. As a Bama fan, like all you're looking forward to is if you can hold that trophy at the end of the day. Other than that, it's always like
failure.
Everybody else is just gunning for us. Like, no one's pulling for us other than our cult.
We got anything else? Is it dinner time?
Speaking of Feinbaum, did y'all see with Scott Woodward on Friday on the set in the quad when he was like, the whole Lincoln Riley thing?
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah. He's like, it came from the planes. It came from the Caden ambulance planes.
I think we definitely broke that.
Yeah, that was us. Our fault. Hand up. No, I mean,
actually, the Caden ambulance. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to get into
that. Let's not.
That's more of a Dabo rumor, but we're going to leave it at that. We're going to leave it at that. But yeah,
Dabo
guys,
Dabo to A&M heard it here first. Reported first by @Gold Mike.
Next week, we're going in-depth statistical analysis of Alabama's offense and defense.
Maybe. When do you want to pod next week?
I'm good whenever.
We might have to wait till midweek to pod next week.
Whatever. We can do it late this week or late next week. Whatever works for you. I'm available. We can do this off pod. Mike, send us out.
Yeah, over and out. Wait, what?